Winston. I mean, what was he?
Yes, we are doing it. We are back live. Boom. See that? It's just this. It's the shock value. We're hitting you with the shock value upside the head on a Friday afternoon or morning. I mean, depends on the time zone. Could be evening for you. I don't know what it is. But listen, you are now tuned in to the pop off. We had some technical difficulties with our usual intro, so it's just a cold open. That's what we're doing today. This is going to be the vibe. My name is Nigel. I'm going to be your host. I'm going to be the one piloting this ship, but I could not do it without my staff and the best staff in the planet. The cat is obviously the co-chair, is the co-pilot of this ship. Mr. Genefitzmagic, what's up, bro? How are you, dude?
What's up, guys? I'm back home in New York for a couple of days.
Tell him why. Tell him why, Gene. Tell him why.
Well, for a few reasons. I want to say happy birthday to my niece. We're going to her quinceañera tonight.
Sure.
So there's that. So happy birthday.
Quinceañera.
Quinceañera. I just say quince because it's a lot easier to say. And then I was lucky enough to attend last night's Jet game where they had the best history in the catch in the history of the NFL occur.
No.
Jordan needs to sign that guy right now. You saw the whole jump.
It was very nice, but not. Odell's is still better.
No, Odell
yes,
was
he
in
was.
bounds. Odell fell in bounds.
3 fingers, and a dude pulling on his jersey, pulling him down, and he still caught it. And with another hand, never touched it. He might as well been armless. Everything with one hand. Garrett Wilson's was great, but it's not Odell's. Odell's is better. It's
the
way
guy
more
pulling him.
You're just happy because Garrett finally caught something. Because he been garbage. They let his ass come over for the sleepover. Now he catching. They gave him some popcorn.
Last month, number 1, number 2. Garrett had a fight staying in bounds. Odell Beckham had no fear of falling out of bounds.
What? He was on the sideline.
He landed in bounds.
What are you talking about?
He fell down and landed completely in bounds.
No, he didn't fall down. He was pulled down by Carr, who was one of the best corners at the time. Purposely pass interfered him, and he's with 3 fingers. It was this.
I also think Garrett was interfered.
And the other hand never touched the ball. He never secured it with another. Like, come on, dude. I get it. Garrett, amazing, and it's hard to. And I don't want to discredit it, but it's not. No. Oh no! And it's the Statue of Liberty. It's the full extension. Hit the ground. Never let it, man. Gene, no. But it's really good.
Without further ado, Caleeb, how are you, man?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, because they've been debating that all morning, and I'm like, nah, it's definitely not. Yeah. Like, it's great, but no. Well, it's way harder. And because he wasn't even pass interfered, he was in front of the dude. You know, he got inside. He even pushed off a little bit. We ain't gonna say that. But he still caught it. You know what I'm saying? Versus this and this. You know, but hey, that's why
I know Wudi's a Jet fan. I know he'll agree. Go ahead.
Nope. He does.
Woody,
oh wait, that's right. Woody's not a real Jet fan. That's true.
Definitely a real Jet fan. I actually wore a Jet jersey all day yesterday. It was Jamal Adams. I tried to be the scariest ex-Jet that I knew. I would say both catches are great. You know, we don't have to compare one or the other. They're both great. Let them be great. You know,
I agree. 100%. They're both great. Just Garrett's just a little better.
I mean, if you want me to choose one degree of difficulty, I'm gonna have to go with Odell. He was horizontal. 3 fingers, literally being held. They threw the flags, right? Like that. He should not have been able to even make the catch. That's why they throw the flag, because he was pass interfered. But to be able to fight through that, go horizontal, 3 fingers, it's a phenomenal catch. Like I said, Garrett's is also great. Garrett's is great.
I got bigger problems than this anyway.
3 fingers.
Different degree of difficulty.
2 in the pink.
3-finger Beckham.
We are already unhinged. We are 4 minutes into this pod, and it is happening today. I cannot wait. So, good Friday to y'all. We got a couple things to cover today. It was a short-ish sports week. Not too much happened, but a lot happened all at the same time. As you can see, we just jumped right in to the Jets defeating the Texans of the score 21-13. The Jets now 3-6, the Texans 6-3. This is phenomenal in all of the reasons. Why I say that is because Houston, no doubt, should have went to East Rutherford, New Jersey, and slapped the Jets. I mean, not aggressively, because it is a Thursday. We have had our run of fantastic Thursday games, and I guess this kind of still is up there with the run because it's I would say an upset. Am I wrong to say that? Arguably an upset. And also Mr. Stroud. I mean, he didn't. The whole roster, the whole Texan roster, did not fare well. Wudi, let's start with you. What do we think of this game? Give us your quick reaction.
Muted.
Vegas had it so that the Jets were the favorites to win. And I thought, I'm like, I don't know if Vegas got this right. But the fix was in. They had some questionable calls to swing it my boys' way. I am relieved, right? Because now I can take a break from getting just insufferably roasted every single week for being a Jet fan. I mean, during the game, do you know how many texts I received when Malachi Corley dropped that ball before the touchdown? Bro, my phone turned off. My phone died. I was getting so many. I had to plug my phone back in, and then nobody hit me up about Garrett. No one's like, "Oh, that's a great game." They only want to kick you when you're down. So I'm relieved to just take a break from all the roasting, and that the Jets were finally able to do something right. I mean, kudos to Garrett. He had 2 one-handed touchdowns last night. Aaron was all right. And the defense, Hassan Reddick, he has made a huge, huge difference for that defense. 8 sacks, the most in a game this season for that team. So welcome back, Reddick. And damn, why'd you take so long?
Gene.
Well, the one positive I want to take out of last night, besides the fact that they broke that winning streak, or the losing streak, is the way they played in the second half. That's Ulbricht's best second half since becoming coach. They've been outscored like brutally in the second half, and they finally flipped the switch. And because that first half was, we're watching it and we're like, all right, the defense is looking good. They get into the quarterback. Wasn't exactly happy with the with the outcome of the secondary. I thought the secondary could have played better, but they would get into the quarterback, and just the offense was just not in sync. And then we start the second half, and it was like, something that I feel like we never get to see during the Saleh administration is we never saw in-game adjustments. And I feel like this was a game where they must have made adjustments because they looked like a totally different team in the second half. The only thing that stayed the same was that intense pass rush. But the offense looked more in sync. The secondary looked better. I feel like finally we're seeing some adjustments made. I'm not saying Ulbricht's the guy of the future. I don't necessarily think that either. But it was nice to see a Jet coach take do something at halftime to change the course of the game. And because I feel like we've never even gotten that through the good, bad, and ugly of Robert Saleh. I feel like we've never gotten any time that we needed them to make adjustments, we never got it. And I feel like they made the adjustments they needed to make last night.
I think you make a huge point because looking at the stats, looking at the box scores, it's absolutely phenomenal because the Jets were up 7-0 in the half. Coming out of the half into the third quarter, Jets score Houston scores a 3 field goal, and then the Jets just never looked back after that. They only let them have another field goal after that. Then, Aaron Rodgers does Aaron Rodgers things, 211 yards, 3 TDs. 1 in the third, and then there's 2 in the fourth. So, I mean, it was for sure an adjustment period that it was made in the halftime room, in the locker room, and then they came out guns blazing to hold Houston. Caleeb, what are we thinking?
You know what? I thought it was a great win for the Jets. I was actually glad to see it, and I agree with Wudi. I did not think they were going to, but, short week, cold up in New York. The Jets want to win. You just lost your number 1 target for the season with a torn ACL. CJ Stroud is still a human. He had a bad game. The line didn't get, they weren't. That's what the difference that players make, to Woody's point about Hassan Reddick, right? I know personally how well that when he's engaged, what he can do. You have to double team him because he's so fast and the way that he moves towards it. So you still got the rest of the Jets dudes that were there, right? So that creates an onslaught. that is coming at you. And I think him being in that lineup is going to make a world of a difference for that already good defense, because now they can get a pass rush. Now it makes your secondary that much better because the quarterback has to throw faster, which now puts up ducks and things for hot sauce, my man out there to get to that football, you know, to get to that bread. So I think I'm looking to see improvement. I'm so glad they finally let my boy Wilson come to the sleepover. They let him. They gave him his own sleeping bag. They gave him his own little bag of popcorn. He got to watch the Goonies. Hey, you guys, you know, all that. So he's feeling hype. You know what I mean? And he went out there and balled out, because I was really glad to see him, because of that other game when he was dropping those passes, I could tell he felt like the poop emoji. You know what I mean? Like I could see like he really cares. So to see him do that, right, that makes it dangerous, because if you know he's a Beckham Jr. out there, junior, and you still got Devontae, right? Like, hey, that's a nasty combination. And if they could just get Brees the ball, let the man play, I swear to God, your offense will improve dramatically. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but they have to include that man more. Like, he's only going to make your two receivers better. He's going to help Aaron. He's going to help Aaron if you do it. You know what I mean? So I was glad to see the Jets do it. I did not think they were, but I'm not upset that they did. They got a hard schedule ahead. You know what I mean? Like, because Tua's back, so Miami's going to be playing different. The Bills are the Bills. You know what I mean? They still got King Allen back there. So it's not going to be an easy trek to try to make it to the postseason. But you know, it should be exciting, you know, to see what they end up doing. I think they got to win at least 7 of the next 9 or something crazy, which I highly doubt. But you know, we'll see.
Just one stat I wanted to sneak in there with Reddick. Reddick's, you know, double team Reddick. So now it lets the other guys do their thing. Quentin Williams in the first 7 weeks had 2 sacks. People talking about, oh, where's Quentin? Where's Quentin? Get Reddick on the team. 2 games with Reddick. He has 3 sacks in these 2 games.
Exactly.
You know, just instant change with Reddick on the field.
Yep.
Well, you know what? They weren't short of spreading the ball around a little bit. You know, Brees Hall got in there 15 for 74, which isn't enough. You want to give that guy some more.
I'm saying run.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I'm saying which isn't enough. Like 15 for 74, like he for sure could have put up more numbers, because Mixon still did the thing. He had 24 for 106 and a TD. Brees Hall should have had the exact same numbers. And then passing wise, Adams finally gets his first tutty as a Jets fan, good, or as a Jets player, good for you, with 791. And also Garrett Wilson, which we just talked about in length, 9 receptions, 90 yards, 2 TDs. Shout out to my boy, because he's on my fantasy team. And you know what? He might be the difference, because I'm still predicted to lose. So hopefully that was a good. Yeah. My team's not great. It doesn't matter. Moving right along, but I have a question for Gene specifically. Should the Jets try to run it back next year, or should they just blow the whole thing up? We've kind of touched on it, but let's touch on it just a little bit more. Gene, since you were there, should the Jets try and run it back next year, just blow the whole thing up?
So what I'm afraid of is they go on a run and beat some bad teams at the end of this year, and the ownership tries telling us we're going to run it back because, you know, if we would add a full season of this and blah, blah, like I feel like the Jets have done that numerous times, where a coach would win the unimportant games and win just enough games for the ownership to try to explain why they need to bring it back. I don't think. So I don't even know if I went over on this show once before. I thought I did, but I have a game in my head. I have a system for how it needs to play out, and it doesn't include Jeff Ulbrich. I would like to bring back an offensive coach that could develop a new quarterback. I wish I would redshirt for the year and have everybody else still stay. I keep the team pretty much the same, but I would change the coaching staff. I'd make it more of an offensive coaching staff, someone that could develop a quarterback, because I think that's always been the problem. So I feel like these past few quarterbacks we've drafted, we didn't pick the wrong guys. We just didn't develop them, because you feel like a lot of them are now having success with other teams. We need to find someone that can develop a quarterback, let them run the team, draft somebody this year, let them redshirt for a year, and then the following year let them take over and say, Aaron, it's been a nice time. But I do think we run it back next year, except for the coaching staff. Only because the players it's something else than the players, because we've said it before. This, and I've said it a million times. This is the best roster I've seen of the Jets have since I've been alive. So there's something not right, and maybe it's the coaching staff. I don't know, but I think we need to bring in an offensive system, a better offensive system next year, and then run it back with these guys. And another thing too is if you bring in a new rookie quarterback next year, you do, like I said, you do the Pat Mahomes thing, redshirt him for a year. And then because you're starting that quarterback clock over, you can then re-sign to longer term deals your key players that you wouldn't be able to afford with an Aaron Rodgers or going out and get yourself a veteran quarterback. So that's pretty much what I would do. So yeah, I would run it back next year with no real expectation of winning a Super Bowl, other than just building for the following year.
Like that answer. Wudi, you're another Jets fan. What's up?
I definitely want to keep the roster as similar as it is. Definitely, we need some help on the offensive line. Right, Aaron's getting beat up. Personally, Ulbrich, if he wants to grab a beer, I'm down. As Jets head coach, probably have at least 10 to 15 people that I would rather have in the position. So I kind of agree with Gene. I didn't hear your thoughts on Joe Douglas.
I keep Joe Douglas. The reason why is I think he was asleep at the wheel for a few moves, like letting the kicker totally ruin certain games. Although I don't blame the kicker necessarily for losing those games, because I don't think we should have been in positions for it to be up to a kicker in those games. But nevertheless, they still could have tacked on the extra points for us to win those games. We have a better record if we had a decent kicker. So I agree. He was asleep at the wheel in certain areas. I don't blame him for Zach Wilson. A lot of GMs would have picked Zach Wilson when he did, but I looked at a lot of his other drafts, and a lot of his other drafts were decent. Listen, we all killed him on the McDonald pick. McDonald's got 8-9 sacks this year. So I would keep him and let him get one more coach. And the coach I would want, and I give him a blank check, is Bobby Slowick from Houston. Come in, develop my next quarterback, and then we go to work. He's part of the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. He's obviously developed. He's done a good job with C.J. Stroud. I try to pull him from Houston for him to be my next head coach.
Yeah, I would also keep Douglas. I'm definitely not as high on him as you.
I'm not high on him. He hasn't done enough for me to warrant changing yet. He's too much. He's got too much in the bank.
Like just like a hole where you can stick your hand up his ass and make him do whatever you want. So really, it's important to get the coach, right? If you get a coach who has a real great idea of what they're looking for in a player, then you can just make Joe Douglas do whatever he wants, and he's not going to overpay. So that's why I would keep Douglas, keep the team. I'm cool running it with Aaron, everybody besides the offensive line. I would build the offensive line. Young QB, that would be nice. But if we win too many games and now we have the 20th pick, I'm not trying to trade up to get that QB. We drafted Jordan Travis, and they felt like he could learn under Aaron. So this would be year 2 for Jordan Travis. So it really depends on how they finish on what I would pursue. But no matter what, right, whether they lose out the rest of the season, they can be 3-14 or win out. And it's the other side. Now I got to do math. 11-6, right? No matter which one it is, I'm keeping this roster as is because I think it's good. We just don't have a coach. My Lord, do we not have a coach? So we just got to pick a coach. I don't even think it has to be offensive. I know that's a huge thing. The fan base is like, I'm tired of the offense sucking. I'm tired of the offense sucking. Need an offensive coach. Defensive coaches still, have good offenses. It's just that we've been burned, right? The last offensive coach we had was Adam Gates. I don't think we want that, So I think,
I feel like they did that on purpose, though. I feel like they got the worst offensive coach you could imagined to say, see, we tried it, it doesn't work. You need a guy that, and you're right, D'Amico Ryans he's not an offensive guy, but he's got the right guy there.
Yes.
Whoever it is, I don't care. Just bring me a guy that can develop a quarterback. And if that means getting the head coach, I think we're very much on the same page for one time. I think we agree a lot.
No, I feel like I gotta take my temperature.
I told you today's unhinged, man. This is a weird combination when you two are. Yes, we are back. We back. Wait. Johnny Boy's saying the Jets.
Talking about the Jets, baby.
Yeah, talking about the Jets. Sounds like we're back, but the Jets, we don't know.
Probably not Johnny.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. You know what? Before we go any further, man, it is time for Nigel's Cap Corner. You thought I was gonna skip that. I wasn't. And in honor of the championship, Los Angeles Dodgers. What a wild game. We will talk about it. We will talk about it later because that game was bananas. The last game. In honor, I am wearing this, which is the one of my faves. Again, they're all my faves. I think I said that every time. The Hispanic Los Angeles Dodgers Viva Los Dodgers patch script hat, and this is a gold thread right here, and you can see it's kind of raised a little bit, so it is tight. And on this side, it's a little blown out. There you go. You have the celebratory patch. It says Viva Los Dodgers, and it's got like confetti. It's got the whole thing. It's all party right there. And then you got the gold on the back as well. Oh man, look at them colors right there. Yeah, it's all metallics thread right there. And then you use the gray UV with the black guts. Boom. Shout out to another fantastic hat that is worthy of today's topics. Now, moving on.
Nigel. Too soon.
You think so? You think so?
It's yeah.
No, you go. You go. Like what?
That hat makes me sick.
Don't worry. I'll wear I don't know what one I'll wear. I don't know what one I'll wear. I'll wear a different one later. All right. Well, word on the street is Caleeb. I missed that one. Word on the street, Caleeb is rocking that.
I'm wearing a Jet. The Jets fitted. No. It's the black Yankees. I always wear it. I just like the hat because it fits good. But listen. The Yanks, I mean, come on. Wait. I was about to retort Gene.
Yeah.
Like, the D's are soft in Spanish when they're in the middle of a word. So, like, a lot of the Mexicans I grew up with, Doyers. Los Doyers. Doyers.
The D is also soft. As it turns out, the D is also soft in the Yankees infield. So.
Wow. Yeah,
hey, listen. I was like, they better go get El Capitan to play shortstop. This is looking ridiculous. But anyway, I'm not even gonna go there. We can go stop.
Yeah, we'll ham it up in a minute. Let's hit up some general NFL conversation chats, and I'm gonna hit you up, Caleeb, for this one first because I feel like you have a lot to say about this. We are talking about the new lead Browns with Jameis Winston. Oh my goodness. Do we think that the Browns should have started Jameis earlier in the year? This might be a rhetorical question, but thoughts?
No. Listen. Well, maybe. I mean, look. What are you gonna do? I mean, nobody. Listen. It's the only reason why we're talking about it is because Mr. Hamilton, who's one of the best defensive backs in the league, dropped a gimme pick. Had he caught it, the game is over. It's over. Ravens win. We're done. We're not talking. We're still talking about Jameis back then. And I got to give him his respect. Reverend Jameis. Did you see him? Did you see his whole speech? And the Lord God, he moved the mountains. And I looked up on high and I said, Jesus. You know what I mean? Like he's like, come on, man. Like, I be tired when dudes be trying to bring God into everything. Like God's got a universe to sustain. He over here, like, I got to make sure. Ooh, hold up. How about to catch that? Right? Come on, bro. The other side prays too. Like, relax. You know what I mean? But it's fun. It's definitely entertaining to watch. But anyway, Watson has just been terrible. So, I mean, anybody should be playing. I feel bad for that franchise where they're at. Winston did his thing, though. He did throw a pass, and caught it. Cool. Are they going to do anything? No, I mean, because Winston is still Winston. He's where he's at for a reason. We try to act as if Jameis is, somebody that's just superbly great. He's 30 for 30. It's 30 for 30. You know what I'm saying? 30 picks, 30 touchdowns. That's how it's going to be. So you already know what you're going to get. I'm glad to see him get a win. I'm glad to see them just sparking around something, because that franchise, they have too many great players. Their defense is rock solid. They got Nick Chubb back there. I mean, it's like, come on, man. Like, they got to be doing better. But what people fail to realize is interdivision games, it's always, the Giants could be 1-8 and they could beat the Eagles, Dallas, or the Commanders on any given. It's just, for whatever it is, when you're inside that division, you could do it. We just saw what the Patriots did with the Jets. The Jets just beat up on one of the best teams in the league. They won, right? And lost to one of the worst because it's interdivision. That's just how it is. So am I impressed? Yes, because I expected the Ravens to win that game. But at the same time, that's what happens. And shout out to Jameis. I'm glad to see him doing his thing. We shall see. But I'm not like, oh my God, like, here come the Browns. No.
I don't think anybody's like, here comes the Browns.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah. I think from a different angle as well, it's like because of Watson's injury and the way he was playing before the injury, it was almost like, we missed the window, and the window being that he was so bad for so long, you could see that the chemistry was just not it. It was just not there. If the switch should have happened prior to the injury. I mean, we can say that now because it happened. I know that, but I'm just wondering if that switch should have been earlier. Gene, what do you think?
You're muted.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to sound like, because I got my own problems with my own team, but to be honest with you, does it matter who's the quarterback of the Browns? I mean, Winston, the other guy, me. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. The franchise is a mess. And Caleb's right. They have such great talent on defense. I feel like, they're held hostage by Deshaun Watson too, because with that contract, you can't really go out and get another quarterback that's really going to be able to push him, because that's going to cost money, and you're giving I don't even know what the percentage of your salary cap to the one guy, but it's got to be pretty high and you can't get out of that contract because it's all guaranteed. I really feel like the Browns are kind of getting what they deserve. You know what? You signed a guy that had some suspect issues, and this is what you get. You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
Okay.
You realize that the Browns made the playoffs last year, right?
Yeah, but not really with Deshaun Watson, though.
It was Flacco.
No, because you said, put in any quarterback, doesn't matter. I think you described your own franchise. You did not describe the Cleveland Browns. Because
I might have been projecting.
Yeah, that's
a little bit.
Because literally, Aaron Rodgers, right? Put in Aaron Rodgers. I had to make that week 3 and 6.
Hey,
no.
Zach Wilson got the same record.
Well, yeah, but Joe Flacco last year brought this same team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
What they need is
could he have done it again this year, though? Honestly, you don't think it was lightning in a bottle?
No,
we're going to see. He said he's in Indianapolis.
Yeah, he's starting in Indy now. So
yeah.
We'll see.
So I don't know about lightning in a bottle. I think his veteranism just showed up. I think he's just.
This is somebody that's efficient or competent at the position. Just knows what to do.
And confident, right?
Yeah.
Like Joe Flacco has no fear. He's going to move the football. Deshaun Watson has never thrown 300 yards with the Browns. He was there 2 years. Never threw 300 yards. Jameis in his first start, 300 yards. Flacco in his first start, 300 yards. He threw 400. Gave Amari Cooper all that yardage that one game. They need somebody who can move the ball. That's why I always said, starting week 3, I was like, put in Jameis, because he's going to move the football. Deshaun Watson getting 150 yards is not doing nobody nothing. It's not doing nobody nothing.
That's because he's playing scared. He's playing scared. And Gene, he'll appreciate this because he loves when I do it. It's like in Major League when they had Harris. He's on the mound. It's like he gets you all the way to 8 innings, and then give me Vaughn. And we go, you know what I mean? It's like you gotta do what you gotta do. But I tell you this, here's what the Browns made the mistake. And I swear, I was watching this thing and they were talking about Babe Ruth. And they were saying that Babe Ruth in his prime, he was blowing up, and the Yankees were like, we got to, the kids love you. I'm going to need you to cut down on the broads and the booze. You know what I'm saying? We're going to cut that out. So Babe was like, cool. No broads, no booze. And he was getting like 0 for 12, like striking out, not getting nothing. The owner said, okay. Just keep it on the low, but go ahead. Broads and booze. knocking them out the park. Sometimes you got to give the dude their medicine. Phil Jackson knew. He said, hey, I know it's the middle of the season, but Dennis, go on and go to Vegas for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain people, you got to give them what they need so they can perform. And I'm just saying, they may have shortchanged Deshaun by cutting out the massages. That's all I'm saying. There's a whole lot of masseuses that won't tell. I'm telling you, there is. They make a living out of it. That's what they should have did for their man. They didn't. And now they're paying the price. You can't give a dude $264 million guaranteed and not make sure he has his medicine. That's all.
You know what? 100% right, Caleb. I feel like, it's election season. One of these two candidates needs to have in their proposals rubbing tugs for Watson. They might win Cleveland.
Trump was saying
the whole state of Ohio because
I don't know. I've never heard of a rub and tug, but they could be wonderful. I heard they work miracles. Because Deshaun, I love Deshaun. They talk about him like a dog, and I think he's a wonderful quarterback. I really do.
Not wonderful is the fact that they have 5 of 11 of their starting roster questionable for Sunday. It's crazy. 5 of 11 of their starters. I'm on the roster page right now on ESPN, and there is more red on this page than there is ESPN branding, and their colors are red. It is wild.
They don't want to play.
This team is having a rough go, and Wudi said it last year.
No, they ready to play. Did you see the pregame huddle with Jameis? They was laughing, they were vibing. They finally have somebody that they want to play for. They're like, yo, we talk with this sicko, man. All right, all he cares about is the rub and tug. He don't care about the field. But now you got someone, Jameis, who cares about the name of everybody in the facility, the name of everybody on the field. Somebody they want to see him win. That's Jameis's greatest strength.
I do believe that. You're right. I remember I always talk about energy. Like, yes. That's a real thing. I saw that pregame thing. He was Reverend Jameis was on his. He was doing it. He had them boys hyped. So they was ready to tie it with their offerings. It's like, listen, it was great. But I agree. I just think energy changes everything. Jameis is good for them right now. If he could perform, oh my goodness.
I mean, we talking about, the Jets might have a chance at 3-6. They could. 3-6. They could.
Well, let's move over to, and we did talk about the Colts very briefly. We teased that idea. Let's talk about this, and let's go to Wudi. You just finished, so let's start with you. Let's talk about our thoughts on Anthony Richardson's career so far. I mean, is he a franchise QB? What is happening with this gentleman, with this young man?
It's really tough being a young QB in this league because people force you to play. Regardless if you're ready or not, it's like, you drafted a QB? All right, he's starting week 1. And I think, we've seen so many, even like recently, like Patrick Mahomes did not play week 1. There was no, plan to have him start. And look at what he's done. There are definitely Jordan Love, right? We have seen even in recent times, people who get that benefit of watching somebody. They don't have to watch the GOAT. You can watch Alex Smith, right, and still become something. Anthony Richardson, he was forced out there. He got hurt in 3 games, and then, saw Gardner Minshew have a very solid season, and then was given the keys again, got hurt in 3 games, and then saw Joe Flacco have a, good season. Now he's back, and it's not clicking. I think and everyone would agree, he's a phenomenal talent. Like, literally, if it did all click for him, this is somebody who could be, like, the best player, like, in the league. Like, his arm strength, his speed, right, just agility. Like, he is, like, Cam Newton on steroids, which we thought we had with Josh Allen, right? Like, so Anthony Richardson is bigger, faster, stronger than Josh Allen. Like, that's what we're looking at. That's a ceiling. But he's not come anywhere close to that. And I think this benching, hopefully, because I feel like, it's already being perceived as, oh, you suck. But sometimes it's just like, hey, take a step back and learn from somebody who's about to put up 300 yards, because that's what Joe Cool about to do. Joe Flacco, this old man, I thought he was done, and he just keep coming back for more. Just watch him, how he attacks the game, how he prepares for the game. I think, the story is not done with Richardson. It's not like Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young is going to have a real uphill climb to try to become something. I don't think that's the case for Anthony Richardson. I think he just needs to sit back and kind of figure out what's going on. And, throwing 2 for 15, that's come on, man. Come on. Everyone on this channel, I think can throw 2 for 15. So let's see if he can learn in this time of benching.
And before I forget, I just want to remind you, if you got something to say or something to contribute to our conversation, please do hit us up in the chat, because once again, you are listening or watching the pop-off right here on Uptown Sports TV. We are having an absolute blast. I told you things got unhinged real quick because we had no intro. We just a cold start, and man, it's been a wild one so far. Yes, Johnny Boy, Wudi is very similar to what Corley did. Just the immortality thing with the players, unfortunately. Immaturity, sorry. Yes, absolutely. And you know what? I was just going to mention this before we go to Eugene, so you're on the clock. I think a lot of this has to do with putting in Richardson fast enough because of the premature retirement of Andrew Luck. Now, I'm not putting it on Luck. I want to be clear, though. I'm not putting it on Luck, but I'm putting the franchise scrambled and didn't know what to do. So there was no contingency, because the idea was Luck was going to be their guy for seasons to come. And because it just turned around so quickly on them, they wanted to maintain that franchise and maintain their wins and just where their trajectory. And I think Richardson was supposed to be the guy. And unfortunately, this took a wicked turn, so they're still trying to scramble and figure things out, and coach and stuff. So they're trying to figure things out. Gene, what are your thoughts? Richardson, franchise QB, what should they do?
I think he'll be a franchise QB somewhere else, because I think he's going to be labeled a bust, unfortunately, in Indianapolis, and they'll move on from him, and he'll go somewhere as a backup, learn a little bit, and then you'll see him be almost like the Geno Smith, Sam Darnold kind of thing. I think you'll see him be good a few years down the road, because I agree. He's one of the quarterbacks. He's only had a handful of starts in college football. He's one of the guys that needed to come out and sit and be redshirted the first year. And so I know some people would say, well, he didn't play most of the season, so isn't that kind of the same thing? It's different when you're the starter and you get hurt. You don't think you need to learn from anybody. You're the starter. You just got hurt. It's a different mindset when you say, kid, you're coming in here. You're not going to play one snap. You're going to learn not just what it's like to be a quarterback in this league, but you're going to learn what it's like just to be in this league. Don't worry about anything other than just absorb everything. When you go in and you're the starter and you get hurt 3 games in and you're going to be sitting, you're not looking at, like, I need to observe. I'm the starter. So, like, you're going to still be preparing to get healthy, knowing that you're going to be back in when it's your turn. You're not looking to kind of absorb. You're already the guy. You're just on a little hiatus because of an injury. I think that's where they made the mistake. Of all the quarterbacks that came out of the draft that year, he was my favorite. I thought he had the best ceiling, the highest ceiling out of all the quarterbacks. I thought he would be the guy that would blow people away with his athleticism. But he did need to sit. He needed to simmer for a season, give the Patrick Mahomes treatment, and I think that's what hurt him. But I do agree he's going to be fine, but he's going to have to do what Sam Darnold did, what Geno Smith did. He's going to have to go somewhere, be a backup, not play, and then he's going to get another chance somewhere else, and we're going to be, wow, this kid came out of nowhere. He really resurrected his career, when I think that's all he needed in the first place.
Caleb, yeah, you're nodding emphatically. What do you think?
No, I think it's true. I think people just need. There's different gradients for people, and there's a saying that's called "it's too steep a gradient." That just means for this person right now, that's too much to ask. C.J. Stroud took it and ran. Jaden Daniels took it and ran. But that's who they are, so that's not too steep a gradient for them. But for Richardson, apparently it was. Now. I saw RC Ryan Clark talking about him today. And Ryan said from all his people that he knows that are actually on the Colts, they say that dude is dedicated. He's there before everybody, leaves late, like really, really, really wants it. And the needing to sit out, they think, is to what you were saying, Wudi, immaturity. Well, no, to what I think it was Johnny Boy said, the immaturity thing, right? That he was thinking like, oh yeah, I just need a break because he doesn't want to hurt the team. And it's like, no. The team needs you. That's when you got to dig in. This is the Texans. This is a divisional rival. Like, you can't even let them see the weakness. Like, forget that. Cam Newton said what he should have did was tell the coach, don't call a quarterback sneak and don't call nothing that I got to roll out. Like, let me hand the ball off or a quick, like something quick so I could get the breath back. Right. But you let the coach know so he don't call, the annexation of Puerto Rico when you can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he has to. It was that. And that all speaks to immaturity and not understanding the position and how to manage it. But what's getting perceived or what's getting pushed out there is that he's lazy. Like he's one of those guys, and he wasn't, and he's not. And I think that is a thing that he's going to have to combat. I think if he is the guy that Ryan said he is, this is the best thing that could have ever happened to him, because it's going to light a thing called a fire in his ass, right? And he's going to get up, and if he is that dude, he's going to take it to the next level. Like, you couldn't have done anything better. It was like shooting Tupac 4 times. He come out, right? Like it's that thing. So we're gonna see if he's got that thing in him. If he is what Ryan is saying, people are saying he is. If he's that, then like they say, you have no fear. The crowd is here. The microphone. You know what I'm saying? If you are who you say you are, a superstar. It's like that's what it is. You know what I mean? Pick one. Like my dad used to tell me all the time. He said, everybody can't be a star, son. Somebody got to clap. So you got to decide if you one of them. Are you the... Ain't nothing wrong with being the dude that got to clap. But if you getting paid and people are looking at you like you a superstar, you got to step up, man. And I hope that he is that, and he will do that. You know what I mean? Because if not, it just looks bad. He definitely will be a backup somewhere, and he'll get another shot. And I agree with you about Bryce Young. I think it's I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
So bad for him.
Yeah. I do hope Richardson has his like ultimate warrior moment where it's like, you can't tag him and it's just like, oh, yeah, dun, 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 and he's just shaking
some of the best music ever.
Yeah.
I don't care. I hated the Ultimate Warrior when I was younger because I was a big Hulk fan, and he beat Hulk, of course. But dude, when you hear that and he starts running out, you're like,
yeah. And the match starts. Love it. Well,
and that dude was Diesel.
Yeah,
like it was like
gross.
wow, just everything. Gross. I was like, yo, like now as I'm older, I appreciate it. And real quick on wrestling, sorry guys, I know. You know who I appreciate so much more now? You know who I fucking love in my old age? Shawn fucking Michaels, baby. Oh. I love the Heartbreak Kid. I was like, yeah, Shawn. Because I was a Bret Hart. I still love Bret Hart. He is my favorite. I love Bret the Hitman Hart. Ravishing Rick Rude was my guy, Mr. Like, listen, but Bret, and I hated Shawn because, him and Bret. But man, when I watch all that old stuff, I'm like, that motherfucker was the shit. He was so good. And when I heard Bret say, no matter how much I hated Shawn, I always trusted him in the ring because he was a consummate professional. Like, I knew he would never do anything to hurt me, even though we hated each. That, you know how much that says about a person? Mm-hmm. Like, he could be an asshole, but he took his craft so serious. Like, and it was a real thing, which is why he is absolutely top 3 greatest wrestler in the history of the sport. Mm-hmm. Like when you take all pound for pound, Hulk did the most. You can't do nothing without Hulk. Without Hulk Hogan, it never becomes what it becomes. Yeah, but different people like Shawn, man, showman, skill, all good on the mic, all that, like, so anyway, I digress because
you can't
He's an all-time great.
That attitude era, man, like that, like even just before, like that whole couple decades of wrestling was out of control. Like it was the best of all time. It was
man,
great. It's great.
Yeah, I hated Triple H. He made Triple H cool. Remember when he was and he's like the erudite from the 1700s? That
he had the puffy shirt from Seinfeld on.
Huh?
The puffy shirt from Seinfeld he wore.
Yeah. But anyway, I digress. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. This is the pop off, and we're going to jump in now to the picks of the week. You know what time it is. Let's talk about the best games that we're going to watch this weekend. Picks of the week brought to you by the Gene Experience. Experience what it's like to be the only one to think Sam Darnold will be an NFL MVP again, but he won't. Great. So let's jump right in. I'm going to start. I'm going to give you two games that I think you should look out for. I'm not like too jazzed on this weekend. You know why? Steelers got the bye, so I'm good. I can watch anything I want. I don't know. I'm thinking the Rams at Seattle. That might be a thing. Rams have always had Seattle's number, but Seattle, I don't know how they do it, but they just stay in games and they play to whoever they're playing with. So it just seems like that might be the right play. So that's an afternoon game. That's at 4:25 Eastern. So I think I might check that out. And I also want to check out Monday Night Football because you know what it is. Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Kansas City Chiefs. That is Monday Night Football. That's probably going to be a big one because Baker loves to play under the lights, and he is not afraid of a big game. It just seems KC, they just squeak out some wins. And you know what? This might be one of those matches where Mahomes really has to work for his money. Let's start with Gene, then we'll go Wudi, then we'll go Caleeb. Gene, picks of the week. What are you thinking?
I love the Detroit Green Bay game. I think that's going to be, as long as Love is up to task. I'm to me that's the game of the week. That's by far and away the game of the week. And you know what? I really think it depends on how Love is feeling, but I can't say Detroit looks unstoppable. They really do. I think I got to go Detroit.
Nice, Wudi.
That definitely was the number one pick on my list as well. I mean, that's a phenomenal game. And like you said, the Lions look great. I am going to pivot over to the Cowboys and the Falcons. The Cowboys, I don't know if you guys recall, I caught them heat in in August because I said that I think they were going to miss the playoffs. I had the Cowboys, the Bengals, the Bills missing the playoffs, and I went up 3-3. The Bengals and the Cowboys kind of making me look smart, but Josh Allen putting on the dunce cap for me. I didn't expect the Cowboys to be this bad though, and Caleb always talks about it with CD and Dak, that lack of chemistry. Like, is it
Don't
really
like each other?
It's just. Yeah, but they're a good run. I don't even know. Like, I want to see this game because this game, if they lose this, it's almost like, all right, I don't know if you can come back. Like, the only reason why we're talking about the Jets coming back is because the Dolphins and the Patriots are so bad. But when you got the Eagles and the Commanders, and then the Giants aren't even like the Giants are on equal footing, taking an L like this is not. I mean, that pretty much almost seals your fate. And the Falcons have looked better now than they started slowly like, oh, it's Kirk washed. And now they look great.
Mm-hmm.
They look great. So this is a real important game for not only Dak and CD, but Mike McCarthy. Does he need to start filling out applications for Chick-fil-A? Like, we're going to find out. We're going to find out on Sunday.
Well, I think he already is. He's done after this season anyway. Like, I think it's a wrap on him. I don't see Jerry bringing him back at all. But to the Falcons and the Cowboys, here's what's in the Cowboys' advantage, right? The Falcons have a weak pass rush. What's bad news for the Cowboys is that the Falcons have a phenomenal secondary, and the Cowboys are one-dimensional, meaning it's Dak and CD. They can get Ferguson in there a little bit, they're tight end, but they have zero running game, okay? When you're one-dimensional, now everybody double-team CD, put a safety over the tight end, and let's play the game, right? That's all they're going to do. They're not worried about the run at all, right? So because of that, that puts so much pressure on on two guys that don't really like each other, right? So it's like one mistake, it's going to just, here we go, right? Like when they play Frisco, Dak throws the pass to CD, the corner undercuts it, picks it off. CD sees the corner going to get it and just turns his back and walks off the field. Like, no, not even trying to help. Like, you know, you see some receivers like knock the ball down from the corner from the pick. He was like, man, that's his. Here
Same
he
thing
goes,
happened in
man.
Detroit. The same thing happened to him in Detroit.
Dude,
Detroit got taken right in front of him, just let him take it.
There's no desire to like look out for the dude. That's how I know they don't like each other. You know what I mean? You just give up. You just see, oh, he got it. Here we go. Right. So again, I think that's what's going to cause an issue. So I expect the Falcons to win, not just because they're so much better than the Cowboys, but just the Cowboys are one-dimensional, and it's just the chemistry isn't. They have chemistry. We've seen them ball out together. Mm-hmm. There's something between them that isn't clicking. The game I'm looking forward to actually watching, outside the Packers and the Lions, of course, and I agree with you, the Lions look virtually unstoppable. Whoever their offensive coordinator is, I forgot his name, that dude is about to get, he's going to be able to
Was
write.
it Ron Johnson?
Yeah, whoever he is, he's going to be able to write. He's going to have a blank check. He's going to be able to go wherever he wants. Everybody's going to want him because of how he's making that offense look, right? I mean, he's got Jared Goff looking like, you know, Joe Montana. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, he's just, I mean, the Goff is going 14 for 15, 230 yards, no picks. Like, it's like it's insane. And Goff is garbage to me. You know, I've said that. I don't care what nobody say.
Come to New York, Ben Johnson. Come to New York.
Listen, but the game I'm looking forward to see, I want to see the Bears and the Cardinals. Because I love the way Kyler Murray plays. And I think Caleb he be crying, but he's like the kid. But look, y'all might be able to appreciate this. You ever see somebody get in a fight, but they crying? And when they cry and they in the fight, it's like extra human strength. It's like they just swear, like it's like, oh, he crying. He like
That's me. That's me when I fight. I cry the whole time.
That's what it's like with Caleb back there. You know what I'm saying? It's like the water boy syndrome. You know, he just get mad. No. And the kicker was like, no, what? You know what I'm saying? He blitz back there trying to get you. So I think Caleb is going to have a little bit of that with Kyler Murray, that it's just going to be, I'm looking forward to it. I think that Marvin Harrison Jr. is something special. Mm-hmm. I really do. And I just think it's just going to keep developing and going. I expect the Bears to win because I think they're a more solid team. Like, their defense is better, basically defensively. And I think, you know, if it comes down to that, the Bears should be, well, shit, never mind. I just saw Dayton throw a Hail Mary that my man was on the sideline. Bang, 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 bang. And then, oh, shit, runs over there and tips the ball back. It's like, that's how God works. That's how God works. God don't pick it. He just be like, watch this. This is hilarious. My man out there, Sean, getting his gyration on to the fan. and it's the reason why they lose. So anyway, but their defense is good, and I'm sure he's not gonna make that mistake no more. So they're gonna be on it, and it's gonna be nice to see. So I'm looking forward to see that game. Like, it's gonna be like a Madden game, not in the sense of points, but just running everywhere, just throwing, just trying to make it happen. So that's gonna be fun. So that's what I'm picking, and hopefully we beat the Jaguars. Please, God, don't let us.
Who knows, baby?
I'm serious every week, and it's so sad. Our team is good, but Lord have mercy. You talk about coaching. You know? Oh man. So hopefully everything stays cool. Saquon, stay healthy, please. And you know, we should be all right.
I feel like you just turned to God real quick in those 30 seconds of talking about your Eagles. Like, real quick, you just be like, God, if you're out there,
help.
Yeah.
If you out there,
end of prayer.
It's one of my favorite Dave Chappelle lines. He said, God, if you listening, help. And that's what it feels like. Like, just keep us cool, you know.
Let's move on and jump into some NBA talk quick. You know what? Orlando Magic, they don't look like they're going away anytime soon.
No,
they've kind of been knocking at the door a little bit.
They lost their boy.
Yeah, the last couple seasons. So yeah,
he tore his oblique. He's out.
Yeah.
Averaging like 40 points. That's
he was balling. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't high on him in the draft.
Neither was
I
I.
must have been high myself. That's the only explanation for that, because he has been balling.
Ridiculous.
And this season, it seemed like they were about to take that next level. Like they were 15 last year. And people were like, oh yeah, that's cool, that's cute. But it looked like this season, what were they, 3-1? And he had 50. So to lose him like this, it's a terrible, terrible loss for the league. I really think, like this is one of those where it could be like a changing of the guard type team type player, and to be robbed of that and be forced with the same classic Tatums of the world.
Don't be hating.
Just in case,
I
turned me against Tatum. I was a fan.
I like Tatum. I just think he
Tatum sucks.
But listen, just in case, just so we hit this head on, so the people know that we're talking about, because we're talking about Paolo Banro, and again, it's real sad to hear about this, that he's out again for the season. Well, he'll be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks, but I mean, this is a tough loss for this Orlando Magic squad that seemed to be doing some real good things over the last couple seasons, really making a turn, a little bit of a slow turn, but they're really making it, and people were starting to notice. Gene, what do you think on this whole topic?
Yeah, grand opening, grand closing, right? So it looked like they were going to be that next team that was really going to be like a top 3 seed maybe in the NBA, in the East. And without Banchero, they're pretty much done. I don't think they can really. They have a lot of nice role players that fit perfectly behind Banchero, but you need Banchero to really win games and sustain a great season. It could be a blessing in disguise, because he needs another. In a league where you need to have 2 stars, maybe they have such a bad season, they get a good lottery pick, they get another star to place next to him for next year, and away they go. They need another star there. He can't do it himself. So this might be a blessing in disguise. They might have a really bad season if he's hurt, if he's going to be out the season, and could really get a high pick in the draft next year, and maybe pair him up with a star, a homegrown star at that. So. I think the Magic have a great future ahead of them, but unfortunately, behind Banchero, it's all role players, good ones at that, but all role players. I don't think they can win without him. So I'm as a Magic team that is moving to Orlando, that I'm kind of fond of. I'd like to see them maybe take a step back this year and be able to pair them up with Banchero, someone with Banchero for next year, and then let them run.
Now, is it pronounced Banchero? I thought it was Banchero. So Banchero? No,
it's Banchero.
Banchero? Man, I'm just butchering names today. Yeah,
it's okay. He's Brazilian.
Yeah, don't do that. But you're not wrong. And the thing is, and it's not like Wagner has been like shooting lights out either. Like a lot of the Magic haven't quite stepped up yet. But again, they're 3-2. They're doing good things. They play against the undefeated Cleveland Cavaliers, which is a whole topic unto itself, because that is a team that is frightening right now. They just came up here in Toronto last week and beat us up real good. I think we ended up losing by 30. Yeah, and I mean, it's just like that's a team that people need to fear in the East. Caleeb, Banchero, Wudi. Oh, well, you already kind of gave your thoughts on this. But do you have anything else? Yeah.
No, I mean, it is an oblique tear. Yeah. So that affects rhythm and moving, and definitely a jump shot. So I don't think he'll be gone for the season. I think he'll be back, and hopefully, to Gene's point, somebody steps up that can become a strong 2, because they're forced to. So now they can command that space and they can really work together. But I just feel bad for him because he was balling. But the NBA is 82 games. It's like they got time. And you're right. Cleveland looks good, but they're still Cleveland. And I don't believe in Donovan Mitchell. So I think he's good, but he's like one of those streaky dudes. Like he don't come through when they need it. Like playoffs come and then we gon', you know what I mean? Like I'll see. But I think he's phenomenal. He's really, his talent is through the roof. But I don't, we'll see. He's got to go against Tatum and all them boys shooting 100 threes a game. So we're gonna see. They just don't even do nothing but shoot threes. They be like layups.
Oh man. Now we're talking about some Boston Celtics territory right there.
Sorry, but
no, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, Wudi.
Yeah, no, pretty much the same, right? Like, it's terrible for the league to see him lost. Hopefully, he comes back for the Cavs. Cavs, that's the team that they were 5-4 with. It was the Cavs, right? They've kind of had this unit for years now. They changed up the coach, and now they got a new energy. I can't remember. I think Darius Garland said, I can't remember what he said. They said that something was holding him back the last year or so, mentally, like mental health wise, and whatever it was gone. I literally can't remember the article that I read, but now he's showing signs of life. So should be a fun season that ends with the Celtics shooting a lot of threes.
Yeah. That's it.
Dang.
Who knows what's going on? All right, we're gonna jump over to a segment I like to call Either Or. The segment's called Either Or, brought to you by It's Wudi Apparel Company. Wear your Jets gear with pride, but always have another team's jersey just in case. Now, right now, we're gonna jump into the NBA, jump into some more NBA, and the either or factor is either Russell Westbrook is the ultimate team killer or the Denver Nuggets are doomed. What are we talking about here? Russell Westbrook, the ultimate team killer, or are the Denver Nuggets just doomed? Caleb, let's hit you up first.
They're definitely not doomed. It's 82 games. Like they have to get it together. They've been there. They got to regel. They've lost some pieces that they had. You know what I mean? They just got to establish their footing. So I don't think it's just done. And I don't think Russell's a team killer because he's not in a position to do anything, really. He's not. It's not like he's starting point guard. Then it'd be different. That's like closer to what James Harden, right? It's like when you have somebody that's starting, that's a lot. Somebody that's coming off the bench, it's not even like, man, I don't think Russell is the reason why they're having a bad season. I just think it just happens. They've been deep in the playoffs for the past 3 seasons. It's just, you get fatigued. They all played in the Olympics. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, cause what's his name? The Joker played for Serbia, wherever he's from. He was there. Yeah. Murray was playing for Canada. Yeah. Everybody else, United States. It's just, it's a lot on your body. And now to come and gear it up for the league, I just think, they gotta get it together. But I also think the league has improved this year. I do. I think a lot of teams are better than what people were expecting. I think the Thunder are going to be back nasty, barring injury. As I love Chet Holmgren. I don't know why. I like him. I like the way he talks. He got swag. Like he talks like he's a brother. Yeah. But he's super skinny. He needs to go and get black food. That's what he needs. Because he don't have no weight on him. Zero. I'm like, dude, come on. He's 7'4" and weigh 185. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's ridiculous. So hopefully he can get some meat on his bones. But I like that dude. But outside of that, the Thunder looks like they haven't lost a step. Like they're coming. That's what youth does. You know what I mean? When you're young and you're still coming back, so it should be that. But back to the Nuggets, I expect them to not be as dominant, but you don't want to play them in the playoffs. Like they're like one of those like teams because they could give you some problems, So we shall see. But I don't think Russell is an issue with them at all because I don't think he holds enough authority in the locker room and with them. Like Joker be like, anyway, shut up. So right, like that's what I'm saying. Like he could just say send him out and he's gone. Like versus a James Harden, it's like you can't just tell him he's the starting guard. So if Russell had that, then I think you would have a point. But
Gene,
I don't think he's a team killer, and I don't think they're finished. I think they'll be fine. I actually don't. I have a feeling he's not even going to finish the season with the Nuggets. That may be a guy they end up moving on from. And at the end of the day, I think as his career has gone on, I just don't find him to be a winning player. I feel like it's not that he ruins teams because, like Caleb said, he doesn't have enough of a voice in that locker room or enough. He's not. He's just not enough on the court where he's like destroying the games. He's just not a winning player. There's something to him. I mean, I think if you put him on the Harlem Globetrotters, they'd have their first loss of all time. So he's just not a winning player. And especially now in his older age, he's definitely not. a lot of his stats were more like I feel like a lot of his stats were more for his own glorification than his team's glorification. Even though I know assists or you passing the ball, and, but I kind of felt like he was one of those players that kind of played for himself, same as a James Harden kind of vibe. I mean, they can't all be Jalen Brunsons, you know what I mean? So you got to have a few. You gotta have a few of these other guys. But yeah, I think the Nuggets will be just fine. And again, once playoff time hits, Caleb's right. Once the playoffs hit, it's going to be a whole totally different ball game. They're going to be if they have a sloppy regular season and they get seeded lower than they should. Look out! That let me tell you, that higher seed does not want to play. If the Nuggets are finishing sixth, trust me, the third seed does not want to play the Nuggets, whoever the third seed might be. So, but I have a feeling he's not going to finish his season in Denver. I feel like he might be packaged straight somewhere else, almost like an addition by subtraction, or maybe to get somebody else that might fit as a better role player.
If that happens, he should retire. It just looks bad.
He's probably going to get. He might even be a buyout. He might even be a buyout midseason.
Interesting.
He made all his money. It's like I would retire if you get traded in. It's over.
He's been on like a million teams.
There was a time where Russell Westbrook was my favorite player in the league. The intensity, the energy, the explosiveness. I mean, anytime Russ was playing, it was like you see him box office. So there will always be a special place in my heart for Russell. He's also, by all accounts, a good man, family man, very, very charitable. He has his foundation that provides food to the homeless, books for children, all that type of stuff. On the court, I literally don't know what happens. Like Gene said, like, I don't think he's a winning player, right? I mean, in the Wizards, right? On the Wizards, he was the reason why the Wizards made the playoffs that year. Right? Bradley Beal was stinking it up, and then all of a sudden he was doing triple doubles and leading that team. I think you need a very, very specific type of team for Russ to be its best. I think that's what it is. And the Wizards had that. For some reason, traded him away. Like they should have kept him. And honestly, even the team that the Wizards have right now, with Kuz and those guys, like I think Russ could, just be the, the older vet and give them the ball and, boost up their energy and all that type of stuff. So that was a really good fit for him. All these championship contender teams, I feel like they're just one piece away. I'm not sure if that's Russ's best fit right now. That's what I'm saying. So the Nuggets, yeah, they've won some games, but have you seen what it takes for the Nuggets to win so far? Jokic having 40, 20, and 10. That is not sustainable for someone, to Caleb's point, who plays deep into the NBA season, right, every year, and then played in the Olympics, and Serbia was nice. They made it to like the quarterfinals, the semifinals. So, that's a lot of basketball, on that body for somebody who is, an MVP that's been doing this at a high level. So they need to find a way to win games without him having to score 40 points. And right now they haven't done it. Michael Porter Jr. was my guy that I was saying, his head was out of the game. His brother, had all those issues. Now he'll be back. I haven't seen him come back yet, but Russ was also somebody who should be able to, take the second unit and get them rolling. That hasn't happened either. So they may be in some trouble if they can't figure it out. I know we just say, they'll figure it out. They got a great coach, Mike Malone. But, there's reason. There is reason to fret if you're a Nuggets fan, in my opinion.
Woo, you heard it here first. I mean, I really like that take about that you gave up, Gene, about a potential trade. Or not finishing in the with the Nuggets organization. I find that very, very interesting to see what happens. And right now, Denver's been only week 1, so Denver's like 2-2. There's a lot of basketball left, so we'll see how that really pans out. I'm going to jump into what we talked about earlier, a whole 60 minutes ago, and we were dipping in. But now let's get to the show, the MLB. Man, what a wild finish for that World Series. The New York Yankees lose in Game 6
5.
And game, yeah, it should have been game 6. It should. Everybody expected it to be game 6.
We picked 6.
Expect games in game 5, up 5-0 for a heavy majority of the game, and with a series of errors in one inning, led to their ultimate demise, with the Los Angeles Dodgers winning 7-6. What a wild, wild game! Are we surprised? Can the Yankees bounce back? Because, man, there was more riots in LA than there was in New York, but the people are angry in New York. That's for a fact. Caleeb, since you are closest to the hot spot, give us the vibe. Give us your reaction. LA Dodgers winning the World Series.
Well, listen, I'm glad to see the Dodgers do it. I picked them, but one more in 6. I wanted them to win it on Fernando's birthday.
We all, yes.
Game 6 on Fernando's birthday for them to win it there in LA. But God again intervened thanks to Jameis. He was like, nah, because look how these fools act when they win it in New York. He's like, I ain't finna let that happen in LA. They gonna blow the whole city up. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. I hate that. Who came up with let's destroy everything?
Makes no sense. And steal and loot is crazy.
Let's rob everybody. We won. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, I hate that. And the Dodgers should come out and speak out against that. It's stupid. You know what I mean? It really is. It's just the dumbest thing ever. Anyway, I digress with that. Listen, it only takes one mistake. And here's what, and I heard somebody talking about, did Judge ruin it for the Dodgers? Did he redeem, or did he, for the Yankees, or did he redeem himself? He hit a home run. He did all this. He hit 2 RBIs. It don't matter. People only remember the mistakes. You could do everything right for your entire life and then slap one nigga and it's a wrap. Okay? That's what happens, right? Nobody cares about everything you did. They only care about what you did wrong. So that one catch, and he's 6'7", and he running to that ball, and he got a glove that's 2 feet long and 3 feet wide, and he misses it. Well, drops it, right? And it just opened up the floodgates. Then the next thing you know, you get a routine ground ball to first base. The pitcher just decides not to run over there. Yeah, I see it all the time. I see the pitcher get up and move. The pitcher does it. He's like, man, I'm tired. Hey, handle that. What? Right? And then our great shortstop. Listen, I'm not even going to do it because Gene's going to get mad. I'm going to stop. I don't have to describe all the errors. Everybody's seen it. But I'm just telling you, it just unraveled. And I blame Judge. Judge makes that catch. Everything is different.
Yeah, hands down.
Him dropping it. And I don't care about all the good things he did. That. Bill Buckner was great. Hall of Famer. Right up until that ball went through his leg.
Say the same thing. I said the same exact thing.
Like, I don't care how great you do. You make a mistake that cost, like, it. Did it cost the game? No. But yes. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so look, it was horrific. I was watching the game and I was like, okay, I called it right. They're going to win. They're up 5. Come on. 2, stop it. They're going to win this game. Coming to LA. They'll do it in 6 on Fernando's birthday. I thought I was great. I was like, I should start betting my money on these things because I would be winning big because I'm right. Man, good thing I didn't.
That's true. Gene, give us your insight.
Yeah, so I had the Dodgers winning in 6. I'm a smart enough baseball guy to know the Yankees were probably not going to pull this out. But there's so much blame to go around. Like, we can blame that the series on Judge if we want. I blame that 5th inning rally by the Dodgers on Judge, I guess, because he opened the floodgates. He put like a bad juju on the inning for the Yankees. But I think the mistake started in game 1 with the manager. There was numerous mistakes. Some mistakes didn't even come back to bite them, but when he did them, you were like, "That's a mistake, dude. Why are you doing that?" Like when he pinch ran for Glaber with Dominguez instead of just letting Cabrera be his pinch runner. You might need Dominguez. If this goes to extra innings, you might need Dominguez's bat later on. You're wasting him as a pinch runner when you could have just had the defensive replacement be the pinch runner. What are you doing? Putting Nestor Cortez, who hasn't pitched in like 50 days, to pitch a high leverage inning like that. He hasn't pitched in forever. You're going to throw him in there? There was just mistake after mistake after taking Garrett Cole out too soon. 88 pitches? Why are we paying this guy $30-something million a year? 88 pitches? He could have went on further. He had 10 days off. So there was mistake after mistake after mistake that I felt like happened in that game. There was some mistakes in some of the other games, but Game 5, yeah, Judge. I mean, Caleeb called it. I hope it doesn't do damage to his career going forward, because I don't think it will. I think he'll bounce back by next year. But he's right. Bill Buckner was considered a great player, and he's not even known for that. He's only known for the guy who let the ball go between his legs in the World Series Game 6. So it's sad, and I just hope that Judge, and I think he will. I think he's got enough. I think he's got enough good stuff in the bank with Yankees fans that I firmly expect him to, when he comes back to town, first opening day at Yankee Stadium, first at bat, I could see him getting a standing ovation from the fans saying, "Hey, we're with you. You're a guy. You're a captain." I would be surprised if they don't just give him a standing ovation because it's his first at bat after a rough ending of the season before. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough. But there was so many mistakes that happened. Not just that one there. It was the bad Volpe throw when he really should have thrown it to second anyway. You get the shore out. You get the shore out. All right, leave the man at third. And then Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman he's a machine. It is what it is.
Yeah, you see something about Mary? Remember Matt Dillon when he came with the new teeth? That's what Freddie looked like. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, yo, Freddie, he got the mask grill. Smoking. But that's my man. Freddie was killing it. No disrespect. It's that was just funny to me. I'm like, damn, but let me tell you something. You know who I really like on the Yankees? That Jazz Chisholm. I like him.
They need to keep him.
I like him. They're gonna lose Soto. They're gonna have to pay Soto $1 billion for him to stay.
Soto's going to Queens.
If he goes to the Mets, because they said it's between the Mets and the Dodgers I was like, the Dodgers got more money, and I was like, yeah, because your boy deferred everything. I'm like,
which should be illegal. You should only be able to defer a certain percentage of money. Otherwise, it's gonna get real messy. You're gonna see a lot of teams doing that.
No, teams want to do it all the time. Players are like, are you kidding? No, I need all 300 millions of that, like today, right? Dude is like, man, give me $1 million, keep everything. But in the last 4 years, I want $80 million a season when I'm 45. Best deal ever. But it just left so much money where they can go get a Juan Soto to that lineup.
I don't think Soto. I think Soto's gonna stay. I won't. It depends, but if they don't keep him and they do the right thing with the money, I won't be as mad because I know they have other players. Like, again, Jazz Chisholm, you know what he reminded me of is when the Yankees went out in 2009 and got Nick
Willie
Swisher.
Mays Hayes.
That's right. But like he brings a levity to the where the Yankees are very buttoned up and businesslike in the locker room. He's the guy that kind of comes in and lightens it a little. He's a little bit of levity, kind of like what Nick Swisher did for the 2009 team. They brought in Nick Swisher, who was kind of like the fun, freewheeling guy. That's what Jazz Chisholm is. I want Jazz Chisholm to stay because of that alone. And he's got a little pop to his bat. He's going to hit you 25 home runs. He's going to bat you about 280. And he's going to play defense. He's going to play defense and be decent in the field. I don't want to lose. I don't want to keep him in lieu of Soto because I think you need Soto. But if there's a way to keep them both, I would be very happy.
Is Aaron Boone on the hot seat? Does he?
Well, they're saying he's got a team option, and they're saying they're picking it up for the most part. So I mean, so it doesn't look like he's going to be.
Wow. Okay. Well, no. Pretty much you guys have said it all. Freddie Freeman. If only I had known, I could have won a lot of money if I had that almanac from Back to the Future. That was quite the performance. But Gene kind of set it up for us when we were talking about the NLCS, ALCS. That whoever came out of there, he didn't feel was confident in beating the Yankees. I mean, sorry, he didn't feel confident in the Yankees beating that team, whichever one came out. I did speak to Gramps. Took a little bit of time for him to recover over the Mets loss, but he also echoed that sentiment. So I was, that's where I went with the prediction. The Yankees had a magical night. My brother-in-law, a huge Yankees fan, shot him out. He was at the game that they won. It was his birthday.
Oh, wow.
Right? So they brought him for his birthday. Magical. I hit him up the next day like, yo, that has to be like a legendary birthday. And then, next day, it wasn't his birthday that day. Let's just say that.
Somebody else's.
Was he the guy that got kicked out for trying to rip the ball out of
Wow. Man, I'm telling you.
That's
only New York, That's what New Yorkers,
That's crazy.
He must have thought there was a bacon, egg, and cheese in there.
He went in the glove. He was like,
just fighting him.
The best part was when Betts put up his hand to grab his mitt back.
Yeah.
The other dude grabs his other hand to hold it
back.
It was an absolute mugging. Welcome to the Bronx.
I love it.
Nuts. Well, listen, it was a fantastic series, I think, especially if you were a Dodgers fan. It was wild to me. Last thing on this, it was wild to me how fast the Dodgers scored in 3 of the 5 games. Like they had minimum 2 runs in the first inning, like first at bat, boom, like out the gate. And I was like, this is going to be aggressive. And then Yankees answered back with an 11-run win for their only win of the series, but it was there was no hope. There's no hope. And Judge was looking to the runner. He should have kept his eyes on the ball. That's what receivers have to do. Yeah. That's what defensive players have to do. If you watch the video, he was looking up and he kept flashing back and forth. He thought the ball was a sure catch when he was coming in hot, and he just lost it. So you can't get ahead of yourself, kids. Eyes on the ball.
And let's not take away, he had a great catch a couple innings prior to that. A great catch.
Totally, man.
We're going to forget about that great catch. That could have been an all-time catch if the Yankees go on and win that game.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's going to get lost now. We don't even think about that catch.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. It is time to move on. We are almost done. This has been a fantastic Friday, but what Friday would it be without jumping into some UFC? Now, this is a segment I like to call Ultimate Fighters with everyone but Nigel. Brought to you by Only T-Shirts by Caleeb. Be the only one wearing a T-shirt all year round because you live in California. Free shipping for purchases over $150.
That's true.
All right, here we go. We're going to jump into it. UFC Fighter of the Year. You guys can do a roundtable and talk amongst yourself. Whoever wants to jump in first, by all means. Alex Pereira.
Of course, not even a question. He's about to fight again.
Right.
Muhammad is out of UFC 310 because he has a bone infection in his foot. So he dropped out. And Alex immediately sent a tweet to Dana and them on the UFC and put his picture with the phone ringing. Like, I'm like, this dude, he wants to fight again. So if he does it, he'll have 4 title defenses in like 8 months or some shit. Like, this dude is a machine. Right, and it's because he's making money on hand over fist, and he don't see nobody that can beat him. He don't see and it's like right now, there's nobody in the light heavyweight division that can beat him. Not that I see. They can go in there and give him a challenge. The thing is this: when he hits you, it's different. Everybody that's fought him has said that. They're like, no. Listen, you think you can. But when he hits you, right? Izzy said his bone density is different. It's like, boom. I believe it because everybody that he's fought is like, they can't withstand it. And he knows it. You could call it juju. You could call it whatever. He knows it. So he's just cleaning out the division. I think really if he wins this fight and John Jones beats Homeboy, they're going to be trying to push for Poatan John Jones fight. Right? I don't think John Jones will do it. I think John Jones is going to retire if he beats Stipe, which I think he will.
He should.
But if he does, look, Dana's going to throw so much money at him for that fight. He's going to make him an offer he can't refuse. Right? So we'll see whatever that is. But so Poatan absolutely fighter of the year, hands down.
What about so you got no love for Ilia Topuria?
No, I do, but Ilia doesn't do it like that. And I get it. He beat Max and Volk in the same year.
Knock them out.
By knockout. Hey, Poatan's beat 4 dudes. Like, and I'm talking, he's not even supposed to fight. They're not even looking at him, dude. He just fought 3 weeks ago. I'm ready. Like, it's different. It's different. You know what I'm saying? It's like the T-1000. He's just a different kind of Terminator, man. It's like, God damn, what am I gonna do with this dude? So I put him way over Topuria just for that, right? Topuria, Max was giving it to Topuria till Topuria caught him. It was going back and forth, whatever. I've never even seen Alex in trouble. I've never even seen him break a sweat.
Did you see Khalil Roundtree?
Yeah, but it was like, okay, and then, no, I got it. Boom!
That's crazy.
Boom! Right?
I would say Khalil did better against Poatan
He
than
did.
Max did against Topuria.
Yeah, I mean, you get, yeah. They both had the same outcome.
They did have to say, like, hey, give me quality over quantity. All right.
Yeah.
You know, you beat, Jamal Hill. Who else was it?
Garbage man. Yeah, I do too.
Roundtree.
I feel bad for you.
That's some quantity right there. But the quality, two of the very best to ever fight in that division. Max Holloway never knocked down in his life.
That's true.
His life knocked out.
I believe it. I give you that. But we're gonna. Max is a little bit definitely past his prime in that way because he's been in so many fights. But he's still a fighter, right? And like Volk, I don't like Volk. You know why I don't like him? Because of those fights with Max. I thought Max won the first one, and I thought the first one was tight. The second one, I thought Max won head down. Third fight, Volk completely. It wasn't even a fight. Volk won that. So I don't like Volk. It's just something about him, but I do respect him. So if he fights Superior gonna knock his ass out again, right? But here's the thing. I think what happens is once you get knocked out, it makes it easier. Now that Max has been knocked out, I think if he comes back and he'll get it. It'll start happening easier. Same thing with Justin. When Gaethje got knocked out by a head kick from Poirier, right? Then all of a sudden now, boom! Like things just happen differently. It's easier, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see. And I know, but I give Ilya all the props in the world. I think he's a phenomenal fighter. I think he will beat Volk if he fights him again. I think he beats Diego Lopez if they fight. I even think Volk will beat Lopez. Lopez just called him out. I think Volk will beat him. But again, I think it's Topuria's time in there. But Poatan is different. I just think he is the best fighter. He's fighter of the year. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And it's I think he'll be the next heavyweight champion because even if he doesn't fight because he's gonna move up. He already walks around it. Izzy said he walks around at like 240. I believe it. Right? So no, because look how big he is and just solid. Like, you know what I mean? So what I mean by that is John Jones, I think, retires. So say John retires after Stipe. That means the belt is open. He's gonna go up to fight who? The homeboy
Aspinall?
Yeah, Tom. He'll beat him.
Yeah.
He'll beat him. Watch. That's what I'm saying. Everybody thought when John Jones was like, I'm going to heavyweight. They're like, dude, listen, you're skinny. You're not going to watch. Aspinall's going to come in there with all that soccer English. Oh, yeah, and all that. And Poatan's just going to be looking at him like. And then, boom, watch. I'm telling you, it's gonna be beautiful. I think
Poatan can beat Jones. I don't know if he can beat Aspinall.
Listen, that will be hard because John is so skilled. Like, because how you beat Poatan is get him to the ground. Nobody can get there though. Like, he can't fight on the ground. He's not good on the ground. He's been a kickboxer.
But Aspinall can fight. Like
that's his only shot. Remember Tong Po? Did anybody see a movie called Kickboxer?
Of course.
Remember Tong Po?
Of course. He's
kicking the wall and the ceiling was coming down, right? And what did the brother say? I got it, but can he move like me? Right? And then they're paralyzed.
80s show.
That's how you fight. You fighting Poatan. He's like Tong Po. Just boom, 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 right? It's that. It's like, I'm telling you, that's what these dudes is facing. And Khalil Roundtree was like, God damn, I can't get this nigga off me. He just keep coming. So it's going to be interesting. I think he can beat Aspinall because Aspinall's beatable. He's just a big Brock Lesnar, just faster. Like, come get you. And, all this hanky jerky. Oh, man, get out of here. When you fight somebody that really can fight, like you saw what happened to Brock. He was great until he wasn't. Right? That's all I'm saying. So we're gonna see. But I think Poetan. I love that dude. I think he's dope. And even if he loses, we all seen him lose. It don't matter. Can't nobody else do it. That's why that's all Izzy talk about.
Well,
I did get him though.
That's what I was talking about. Are you for real? I would wear a shirt of that picture.
No, that's a good one. But he would just have to put all the other three on his back.
But he would never sleep like that though. He was never.
No, he wasn't. Only I think in the kickboxing one when he knocked him out, he was like
oh yes,
yeah. Like he was on his back and eyes just blinking, like not moving, like that was.
Well, I guess we will see who knocks out who at the next UFC, which is coming up soon. When is that?
This fight's every weekend. It's just the next one is 310. With Poetan will be fighting at because Bilal just pulled out.
Right.
All right. Jones Stipe.
Oh yeah, that's the next one. That's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, right. November
16th.
Solid. Well, we'll make sure to have a little segment, a little pre-chat before that event.
Jones wins. I think Jones beats Stipe. I think Stipe's too old. I think Jones beats him. He's too good.
Early prediction, early hot take.
Yeah,
early. I'm going to talk about it again in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll talk about. Yeah, we'll touch base and see where you're at in 2 weeks. Listen, everybody, thank you so much for listening to the Pop Off, man. It has been another one. Like I said, we started off hot and just never stopped. We kept it going. Next week we will be back with more sports. With more sports. Am I Canadian? How Canadian are you? With more sports recaps, and we'll talk about things in depth, and we'll even talk about things that you bring up in the chat. So thank you so much for being here with us. Like I said, every Friday, 12 noon, we are going to do the damn thing. I don't think there's much we missed this week. We covered a lot of stuff. So with that, why don't we just jump into our weekend words, parting words from the dudes. Gene, we haven't heard from you in a minute. What do you got? Weekend words.
Yeah, I forgot to hit on Mike to join in that UFC conversation. So, yeah, guys, hey, listen, Tuesday's an important day. Go vote.
There you go. Yeah,
I already did.
Caleb, no surprise there.
And listen, I don't want to. I'm not picking a candidate. But vote blue.
Okay, James Wudi.
It's November 1st, right? Last night we were singing "It's Close to Midnight."
Oh yeah.
Now, is it too early for All I Want for Christmas Is You? I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out, and we're gonna get to it. Holiday season coming up.
I went to the craft store this morning. It's not too early because that Christmas threw up in that place. Like there's aisles and aisles of Christmas. So, and the dollar store already had Christmas stuff like before Halloween started. So no, it's never too early. Caleb, weekend words.
I love the holiday season. It's my favorite time of the year. So everybody enjoy your family. And don't forget, go fuck yourself, San Diego.
You heard it here first, and you certainly haven't heard it the last of Caleb's weekend words. Gene is already out, and so are we. That's been another edition of the Pop Off. We gone, everybody. I'm a